All right, welcome to Top 10 on Tuesday. My name's Chad Moore. I'm here with my brother Lou Moore, and we're going to go through 10 things in 10 minutes. That's our plan, anyways. So Lou's picked 5 things to cover. I've picked 5 things to cover. Neither of us know what the other is going to talk about. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Go for it.
Go for it. All right. So my first one is work from home, or WFH as it's called. And whenever I see WFH, it also makes me think of WTF. Whenever I see it written down, that's the first thing that pops into my mind is WTF. And I don't know that they're too far apart, honestly. I
Now,
think you're
Andrew, there's several, I think, acronym type things that are going on now that are new that cause a lot of double takes for me,
yeah.
certainly.
Well, I mean, I've gotten to where, like, if somebody cuts me off in traffic, I say, "Work from home, man. Work from home." I've interposed the two, but and I bring it up just because it's obviously a lot of people are working from home now, but the initial studies that came out said that it was working, projects were getting done on time, people. Corporations were looking at cutting back the footprint of their offices, and now studies are coming out, and it's like things are not getting done on time. You can't train anybody, and I think what happened was the first wave of it. Everyone was like, "This is short term, and I've got to stay up tonight while the kids are asleep to do my work."
Yeah,
And now it's not working.
not one of my things, but daily reading the Wall Street Journal and actual paper. I get at the house to actually I have time to read that now sometimes. But they've been talking about people were super productive at first because they were taken off armed with a laptop and fear of the pandemic and losing their job. Turns out fear not a tremendous motivator over time. So I think they're getting a little weary with it. I've got 2 girls here off camera who have both decided to come and talk to me right now.
That's a good, right. That's a perfect example.
Yep. Also, 10 minutes, it's going to go real fast.
It
So
will. Yeah.
one thing I've found quite enjoyable. Nate Bargatze is a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
He's based here in Nashville. We're not friends yet, but I'm hoping someday. Big Vandy fan, as you probably know. But he has started the Nate Land podcast, which he said, and much like this, what we're doing, he said he's doing it because what else is he going to do?
Right.
He can't tour right now, and he wants to talk. Yeah,
Right.
funny stuff. Check it out, Nate Land podcast, if you're a fan of Nate Bargatze, or check out a couple of specials on Netflix. The newest one I think is called The Tennessee Kid. Really, really funny guy, good guy.
Nice. So my next one, basically piggybacking off of the work from home, was just the Life Desk, which you saw last week from Right Height. Cool desk. I mean, I was really surprised. It's when you get something, and you're unpackaging it, and obviously this came in a box, and this is a kind of a lower end as far as price point goes, and so you kind of think, okay, what am I going to get really? And I wouldn't say it's like Apple, like you get your iPhone and you're opening that box and you're peeling off. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't quite to that level, but it was still impressive. Like, it's really well packaged. It goes together really well. And just kind of quick points on it. It sells around $450, so it's a great price point. Small footprint, which you saw, fits really well into it was going into someone's living room, but can go obviously into a dining room or somebody's bedroom or whatnot. So small footprint, it's extended range. So it starts at 22 inches, which fit really nicely in my car, which is good for if you've got, you're short, which I'm not real tall, or if you've got children that are going to use it, but then goes up to 40.
Which she did.
She did. Yeah. She had kids. And then it's app enabled. So, it basically connects Bluetooth to your phone. So when you walk into the room, the little light thing lights up, and you can kind of hit your button and it'll go to standing height or seating height, depending on what you want. So I was really impressed by it.
It was a quality product, and how often during this unique time, unprecedented, many times, have you opened something and thought, this is not quite as good as I was expecting it to be? Probably a lot. One thing, my things don't have anything to do really with work. Partly, I guess. One, it was about a Zoom, just a Zoom point of order.
Yeah.
This is for Zoom or a WebEx or a Google, whatever, all of them. I was party to a Zoom call recently where it was 15 approaching 20 minutes in, and the people hosting it were still introducing themselves, they were still talking about themselves, which that would never happen in-person meeting, you
Yeah.
know, because an in-person meeting, you have to look at the people that are there and see that they're no longer paying attention to you because you're still talking about yourself.
Yeah. Well, my next point was also Zoom. I had Zoom as my next point too.
Yep.
And 2 points on it. One was that, 'cause I'm in a book club. And so we meet once a month, and there's, 10, 12 people sometimes on the call, and we're supposed to talk, and we got done with it. And I was like, oh man, I don't know, I just feel drained. And I felt like it wasn't really, it didn't seem as joyful, or like, these are good friends of mine, I enjoy seeing them.
Right.
And my wife, Chesney, she was like, Zoom calls are exhausting, because what happens is one person has to talk, and if there's that many people, it's like, okay, now it's your turn. All right, now it's your turn. And so instead of like 2 or 3 people talking over here and 2 or 3 people talking over there, it was this kind of, you have to take turns, and you always felt like you're stepping on somebody's toes if you're going to say something like, oh, excuse, I'm sorry, am I, no, you go,
Exactly.
and so you get done and you're exhausted. And then the other point I had was, when you're doing a presentation and everyone's screens are blacked out, all their video cameras are turned off. And so you don't know what they're doing or if they're paying any attention to you. And I realized that when I was presenting, hey, what's up? I was looking all over the place, and I was like, oh no, I've got to look at this green dot right here. Cause that's what I'm looking at the camera now there, and there was no feedback to anybody.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You don't have that to feed off of. So it makes it a very challenging conversation. But just know, 15, 20 minutes of talking about yourself, that's not a winning start to any meeting. Let's just go ahead and let's just move on beyond that. Actually, the shorter the better. Let's just.
Well, with this, I basically said my name and your name, and that was it.
That was it. Let's not go on. Well, I've been doing this for so long, and I went to here and there, and some of my interests right now include sitting outside for Zoom meetings. Right. Other things, finding things to amuse, finding things to inspire, challenged with being isolated to some extent and not in our normal rhythms. One is I've greatly enjoyed, and of course this is not going to be a political chat that we have on here by any means. This is just pure humor. Is Sarah Cooper. She's a humorist, comedian. I don't know, maybe an actress, not sure, but it's at Sarah, SARAHCPR on Twitter. Does some incredible impersonations, I guess you would say, of Trump. She reenacts his speeches using, of course, his audio.
Yeah, it's like reverse karaoke or something. Yeah.
Well, it's good.
He said there actually is, and he named it, whatever it might be. And it was 30 or 35 questions. The first questions are very easy. The last questions are much more difficult. Like a memory question, it's like you'll go person, woman, man, camera, TV.
It's good. So I'd suggest checking that out for your own amusement.
Well, I've got the 2020 election down as one of my topics. We're less than 90 days out, and I'm glad in a country of 328 million people that we found the very 2 best candidates that we have. As people, 328 that million people, those are the 2 best we found. And I think 2020 has been a tough year, but I think we can count it as a success if it could bring about the end of the world prior to November. Like everyone will be dead and we'll be in our own little afterlives, but we'd all be there going, could have been worse. Could have been worse. Yeah.
Good run. It was a good time to go ahead.
Yeah. Could have been worse if we got to November, but it was not so bad.
Not so bad. Yeah. It was a good time to go. Yes. Other thing, just in the news, I've noted, and I did have this large copy of the Wall Street Journal right here. We can put up the image. I think anybody watching that's in architecture or civil planning or whatnot, if you could let us know if there are any large storehouses of ammonium nitrate around anywhere, I would like to know, because that seems like a bad thing to keep in your capital city. And not to make light in any way, because I've always wanted to go to Lebanon, but wow, that's insane. So if we know of any in our cities that we live in this region, let's let's talk about putting that stuff somewhere else,
Right.
way away somewhere.
All right, the last thing I've got, 2 words, and this is a product I didn't think I would ever be talking about. Really thought there was no viability for this whatsoever. First word is buzzy. So, it's actually, I guess technically it's one word because they combine buzzy with everything. But buzzy shed. And buzzy shed. I'll just let you react to that. It's that the outdoor little,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? Like I've never thought ever once about, oh, those, we could sell those. Never thought that. But now that everyone's be outside, it's like, oh, you
Ah.
could have like a little conference room or whatever out there.
It's right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I thought it was kind of like when they had the jungle gym thing at NeoCon. I was like, well, that's fun. That's not a real thing that anybody's going to buy, but it's nice. It looks great in the photography.
Sure.
As shed.
Yeah.
It
But
looks
now it actually could be something.
real. Yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so look it up. Last one I got, it was my birthday last week, and a friend sent me a Cameo. If you've not seen Cameo, it's where you can find celebrities who have chosen to be part of this app or service.
The top celebrities in the land.
Some of the top, including Pauly Shore, the Weasel. So he sent me a birthday message. It's quite delightful, and we'll include a few seconds of that.
Yo, what's up, Lou? Lou, what's up, my friend Lou? Lou, do. What do you think? The Rock and the Wheeze. That's the ticket, right? Forget Kanye West. Forget the Trumpster. Forget the crusty man with the scabs on his forehead.
Yeah, you basically brought that up so that people would wish you happy birthday.
That was last week. We're already past it. I mean, if you want to, it's still fine. I'm still accepting them, but
All right.
it's done. It's past
Yeah.
date.
Well, I'd used him. I'd used the Kevin McDonald with Kids in the Hall, who was only $20 when I first saw him, which was a steal. And it was like,
A bit more.
yeah, he's 40. He's twice now, but still, that's even reasonable.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I should have, when I came across it, like done every single birthday and Christmas present, just all in, just, send a whole list to Kevin McDonald and say, here, I'm done.
Knock them out.
Yeah.
Knock 'em out, buddy. Just, that'll be your morning work, and I'll have all the presents. And our cousin lives in Melbourne. She sent one to her husband. I believe it was Brian Baumgartner, who is Kevin, right?
Kevin from The Office. Yeah.
The guy who dumps the big pot of chili.
Yep.
That intro. So.
Yep.
Fun.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that was our top 10 on Tuesday. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Peace.